We give 51 hearty cheers to the celebrant and we wish him many more happy years. Moving on now. After 3 successful years of service to humanity, the United States of America Consul General, Mr. Jeffery Hawkins, took a bow to take up a new assignment. So, a little get-together was organized to bid him farewell.
The room was filled with gaily dressed guests who came to bid Mr. Jeffery Hawkins farewell after 3 fruitful years of serving as the United States of America Consul General in Lagos, Nigeria. With the soft music just right for an occasion like this, it was a good environment to catch up on previous discussions and make new acquaintances. There was enough to eat and drink. Some of the dignitaries who attended the event are the Oba of Lagos, Rilwan Akiolu, former Commonwealth Secretary General Chief Emeka Anyaoku, Governor of Imo State Rochas Okorocha, the former Governor of Rivers Rotimi Amechi, the former House of Representative member Abike Dabiri Erewa, General Theophilus Danjuma, Goody Ibru, among others. The special event also had in attendance the U.S. Ambassador to Nigeria, James Entwistle, who spoke highly of Mr. Hawkins, reiterating the vital role he played towards peaceful elections in Nigeria.
We tried to do what we could to support the concept of a transparent election, trying to make clear that in the democratic process there's no place for violence. And I must say that I think we approached that in a number of creative ways. And frankly, most of those creative ways were the result of Jeff and his team here in Lagos. The other example of that I have to mention here in Lagos, of course, was when the scourge of Ebola entered your country. The fact that my government and your federal government and 2 key state governments were able to move so quickly to confront Ebola in this country. Think of what would have happened if we had not been able to do that. So I thought that was yet another example of the many examples of the marvelous partnership between our 2 countries.
Mr. Hawkins will be missed by many, just as his dear wife, Annie Hawkins, will miss Nigeria, a country she's come to love.
In the past few days, we attended a number of send-off parties for you. At first, I was quite reluctant, actually, I have to admit, to go to those parties. Just because it felt like going to those parties made me remember that it will be your departure from me, your departure from Nigeria, and that this departure was imminent and so real. But there, I saw how you impacted people, but also how people impacted you. So many people said praises about you. And I really have to say that it was extremely touching, and all of them were truly genuine and honest. You really made really good friends here.
Fortunately, goodbyes are not forever. Mr. Hawkins, who's had many years in the U.S. Senior Foreign Service, heads to the Central African Republic to take up an ambassadorial post if approved by the U.S. Senate. His friends and colleagues hope to maintain a great relationship with him as he remains a part of Africa.
Nigeria has accentuated and improved and enhanced my own Americanness, our own Americanness here in the consulate. And there are so many things that we have in common. There are so many things that are different. And all those commonalities and all those differences have come together to make me appreciate your country and to make me appreciate mine.
Well, earlier in the week, there was a small gathering of colleagues and members of different U.S. mission programs in the country. They gathered not only to say goodbye, but also to celebrate the U.S. National Day. The Consul General, Mr. Jeffery Hawkins, the man who many believe has come to call Nigeria his home, has proven himself in many programs the U.S. government already operates in the country. For those who've known Mr. Hawkins personally, it was time to share their thoughts on him and the organizations and fellowships they represent.
You will be missed, Jeff. I think I speak for the entire engagement when I say it will be very difficult to have board meetings and not turn around and imagine that there's a Consul General pretending to be an absolute nobody walking through the doors to come and check out our meetings.
Very few people are selfless. You've shown that commitment to your work. You've opened your doors to many. And I can only say that you've sown a seed into the future, not just for you, but for your children as well. The kind of favor young Nigerians have found around you, I am convinced that your children will find even greater opportunities.
Jeff is a very warm and sociable person. And believe me in confidence, I have, in my few years of being around, interacted with quite a number of American diplomats, ambassadors and CG. I think he's in a class of his own. And when I interact with him, he reminds me so much about Ambassador Walter Carrington, whom sci-fi is named after. For those of us who do not know, Ambassador Walter Carrington was with us in Surulere in the 90s when we were tear gassed by the Apache juntas, and he didn't blink. And I can tell you, if roles were to be reversed and it was Jeff at that time, he would do more than Surulere. He would have gone to Ajegunle with us. That tells you the kind of person we are talking about.
Jeff is one of the most unpretentious and unassuming people I have met in the diplomatic service, and for speaking on behalf of the Mandela Washington Fellows, he's our champion as well. For things that concern young people, good governance, he's front and center there, and he supports the work. It's easy to believe in Nigeria if you see it through his eyes. It's very easy to believe in Nigeria when you see it through his eyes.
Mr. Hawkins has had nearly 20 years of experience working in the U.S. Foreign Service. We wish him all the best in his new assignment.